So I ask you like quite often in the game, like what your goal is, right?
Yeah.
And let's rethink about these goals a bit. I think. What do you think are like the strong points of your champion? Like what makes Tristana a good champion?
I have a lot of damage. I can easily take turrets, plates and shit.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure, push easily early game.
You have a lot of damage. We can kill towers. We have a lot of push. What else?
Mobility, W.
Yeah.
Or my ulti, disengage, engage.
Yeah. So it's easy, I guess. Right. These are all the things that make Tristana a good champion. Agreed?
Yeah.
Alright. And what were you saying your goal was most of the game? Because the goals remain the same. In basically every game state you said the same answer. Except for the first two waves.
Yeah.
What was it?
Push.
Push and...
Tower.
No?
I don't know.
No, what you said is that you wanted to push and move.
Yeah, push and move. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can move on your champion. Yeah. But that should not always be the goal. You have options, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, the first two waves, like, I don't hate how we play it or whatever, right? But at some point, we gotta, like, understand that, like, okay, if we're playing Demolish and we're never proccing it, then why the fuck are we playing Demolish?
Yeah, I know. I wanted to change it last second, but then I just forgot to change it.
Yeah, and that's one thing, right? But it's like, I think you're fine to take Demolish in this lane.
Yeah.
It's like, one thing, or there's a few things I noticed. One is that whenever, like, you talk about moving, like, for example, one time you were like, oh, I want to push, and then I probably want to move bot, and I'm just like, I will at least look bot then.
I think I meant to move grubs.
Maybe, but I want you to look at least what was going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because often you're like, center camera, you're like, oh, I want to move somewhere. Move where? Like, you don't even know what you're moving to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like... Yeah. Tristana is a champion that actually like gains a lot of value from staying in lane. Like, I don't hate how we play this first wave. One thing I will say is that why do you think it's better to crash second wave than the third wave?
Well, I'm just doing poke. Like, I don't know, because if I crash the second wave, that I can full control. Because then the third wave will be more in the middle of the lane.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I just need you to have a reason, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the important part, right? Because if we, on the third wave, it's in the middle, then we get the W, and then we can actually trade on him. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's like, I don't hate this. I will be careful about taking minion aggro here, like you are. But it's alright. I don't hate using Q on the wave. Generally, we don't use both Q and D. You look to save the E for the tower. This is like how you play the champion. The thing is, this matchup is extremely winning for Tristana. I don't care that we're missing a bit of CS. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Like, shit happens. This matchup is extremely good for your champion.
Yeah. I know.
Here, it's like a bit awkward how we move. We like move over here, then we move like over here, and then we like move back because we want to like, you know, actually get the ward down like we talked about. And then we're like moving back, and then, you know, it's so awkward. If we just do a smooth motion, like where we just, then we can easily proc this Demolish. I'm not saying it deals a lot of damage at this stage of the game, but it does do something. And now we're just like scared for some reason. He uses Q.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And now we take a tower shot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't care, right? But it's just like, it doesn't even seem like we want to like be trading to begin with, right? And if you're gonna do this auto attack, right? You have to step back in a straight line, straight away, while it's flying.
Yeah.
Right? This is like an art of, like, you know, poking under tower.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the tower shots as well, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what is the tower range, do you think?
It's like a little bit ahead of me. Like,
no, it's where you're standing right now.
Tiny. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not 100%, I don't know.
Yeah. But we gotta learn this, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you look here, this is why you take an out, like a third shot.
Yeah.
Here, right? Like, your out attack range is the same as out, like as the turret, right? Like a bit, the turret is a bit longer, right?
Yeah.
It's not shorter for sure. Agreed?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, now the lane is like, you know, not that great. Like, that's the truth. The general idea on how we want to play this lane, right, is like, I mean, even though we take HP, like, or like a bad trade here, like, or a very bad trade even, right? It's like, it could end up being worse, right? Because it's like we still end up in like a somewhat decent position. The only thing is that we have to get out of the lane somehow, right?
Yeah.
Now, we obviously did sessions with Cracker, right?
Yeah.
What is the first thing he like speaks about? Very first thing. No.
Okay. I don't remember. What was it? I don't know.
The first session, this is the first thing that he brings up. I've watched enough Cracker sessions to know that he does it every single time.
I don't remember what he says the first time.
Why do you think the lane is in a bad spot right now?
I'm just trading unnecessarily and...
No, but why do you think the lane is like? If you just look at the lanes, like the spot right here, why is it not that great for you compared to him?
It's the waves more as his favor. He's higher HP.
He's higher HP.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does Cracky talk about? First thing. Resources.
Oh yes.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Number one. Right. Which one out of you two has higher value on their HP?
He.
Why?
He has more.
Right. That's less value. I get what you mean, but like, you know, he's allowed to expend more HP, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And another thing is that if you're half HP and he hits an E on you, what happens?
I'm dead, basically.
Yeah, you're fucking dead, right? Your lethal range is over here. His lethal range is maybe over here, right? Something like that. It depends on where he is in the lane, if you can all in him, right? So his HP, a lot lower value than yours, right? Your HP, you're not allowed to drop it, right?
Yeah.
When he like uses Q like he did here, like for all I care, you know, like it's fine to do stuff, you know what I mean? Like this is fine. Right?
Yep.
Now one thing I do notice is that you said you worked a bit on tethering, right? That's like one thing.
Yeah.
How would you say you tether? Like how do you want to tether in this lane?
Aggressively. Kind of like
that's one thing, yeah. But like I mean like how do you move, like you know, like in what direction, these kind of things?
I move forward, back. Like I try to get an ability.
That can be fine, right? But that's what you're doing here, and that's why you take a tower shot, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you eat the C.
Yes.
Right. It can be fine to move this way, right? You can like sneak in auto attacks. You can sneak in auto attacks on a turret, right?
Yeah.
But we have to be aware of what he can do with it, right?
Yeah.
If he has Q, he could Q you very easily when you do that kind of movement.
Yeah.
Agreed? Unless you're standing on absolutely max range, right? But then we're not getting any autos in. And he can very easily hit E as well. So here we have to swap it out.
Yeah.
Right? We could, like, for example, go for an auto, maybe move to the upward, something like that.
Yeah.
We have to think about how we want to tether with our champion, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's very important, right? Like here, we feel like we're a bit more exposed, right? So here we step back. I mean, this is fine, right? But now it's like, if we want to like step forward a bit again, I don't mind it. We just have to make sure we're standing a bit in the minions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is like fine, but now we need to get the wave in, otherwise we're gonna get ganked, right? Look at the state of this lane. And we managed to like dodge the gank like decently well, right? That's not like the biggest issue, right? But that's also because we kind of mechanically outplay them, and that's not very great to like rely on, right? So like here I would probably honestly just flash the Sylas flat out. If you get hit by this, you're dead.
Yeah, I know I get hit by it and dead. I was ready. If I saw that it was about to hit me, I'm just out of there.
Oh, that's what you think, but you know, and then you get hit by it, and then you FF.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. It just feels like if I flash the Sylas, I die. Because Sejuani will flash on me as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to delay time for your W, though, right?
Yeah.
Right, true. Because now you, like, let's see, you had flash W, right?
Yeah, my W was so close, it doesn't matter, yeah, I see.
Yeah. I don't, like, hate it, but I think you're leaving it up to chance. And, like, often people, like, why I mention it is because people are, like, very happy to not use flash. Like, they agree with it a lot of the time. If you think you're gonna need to flash for all I care, use flash. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, unless you think you need to save it for something.
Yeah.
Right, then it can be fine. But, like, a lot of the time, that's not the case, right?
Yeah.
This is just terrible. I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna lie. Right? We're just eating poke. Like, look. Okay, so we auto attack him once.
And yeah.
the minions just keep out-attacking you for a while.
Yeah.
Now we have to attack him again.
Then I'm just walking into it.
Yeah, and then we're just walking into it. We're not even aware the minions are hitting us. We're like so focused on the fact that he's low HP to the fact that now we're the same HP as him. And he has TP. Right?
Yeah.
Anytime he wants now, he can reset, he can TP back, he's full HP, you're half HP. GG, go next.
Yeah.
Right? So we cannot eat this poke, right? Now, especially, our HP is super high value, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine, but we have to step back through our minions, right?
Yep.
Exactly. And then it's like, once we do that, we can go for another out attack, that can be fine, right? And it's like, the reason why I ask you always, like, what is your goal, right? Like, I don't care what you do right here, right? It's like, in general, now you're a bit fucked. Now I think you need to take a reset at some point.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the Fiddlesticks is doing here, to be honest. But like,
yeah, I don't know either, man. He just went mid lane, takes 3 waves of XP, like...
Yeah, I mean, that is what it is, right? But it's like,
Yeah.
for example, like, normally, after this wave, I would probably use fucking reset. Because now, it's a cannon wave. And this Sylas right here, if I'm him, I'm resetting.
Yeah.
Right? And if you had stayed, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
And now you have Fiddlesticks here, I guess. So, like, if you're gonna push this wave, he needs to stay here, right? But it's like, it feels like we stay for a long time.
Yeah.
In general. Now, one thing I noticed, like, about the first base, like, why do you go longsword here? I'm not saying it's wrong. I asked you why you're doing it.
Because I want damage, like, feels like, I don't know, it just feels like the best one, I don't know.
Okay. No, because, I mean, what I would do is I would want refill in this kind of lane, right? Because anytime, once again, like, your HP is higher value than his, right? Anytime you take a bad trade, like you just did, for example, when you TP back, okay, sometimes we're gonna make mistakes, right? But we don't want our lane to be completely doomed because we make one mistake, right?
Yep.
It's like, because even here, it's not great for us to be on this HP, right? Every time we take a like, just any mistake like this, it's gonna be bad for us.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen, right? If Sejuani right now, like, let's say she finishes a full clear, we are full HP, and then she goes back to mid lane, and you lose half your HP just because Sejuani decided to say fuck you, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right. And that is not because of you playing bad or anything like that. That's because the Sejuani said, well, GG.
Yeah.
Right, so I would go refill. And I don't care if you go boots or if you go dagger. I really couldn't care less, right?
Yeah, and I get that for sure in this thing, and in this scenario.
Yeah. And then we, like, decide to stay a while. And, I mean, I think you're just lucky the Sylas decides to not reset. For a large part of it.
100%.
But it's also like, we really need to take a reset at some point, right? Because even though we're, like, kind of lucky he's not doing anything, like, we need to be doing stuff in this lane, agreed?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we want to be doing. I'm not saying you have to do anything specific. I'm just saying we want to be the controllers of this lane, right? And anytime where we don't get a reset and we're playing on this HP, we're fucked, right? So I would preferably reset as soon as possible if I see that we're at this HP. Resetting doesn't actually lose us anything if we do it correctly, right? And there were a lot of times where we had the push and ability to do so.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Aqsept. If you're enjoying the coaching session that you're watching right now, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. I upload coaching sessions daily right now. I also upload shorts daily. And if you're interested in seeing the sessions a bit more live and asking questions while we're going on, then just remember, I always do these sessions live on my Twitch channel, so you can go follow that, link in the description. Anyways, thank you and enjoy the video. Now your camera movement is a bit awkward still.
Yeah, my camera movement is dog shit still, I know.
Okay. No, because it's like, one thing is that it doesn't feel like you use spacebar or like lock cam.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I'm so bad at it still.
Yeah, but honestly,
when I played, I still realized.
Yeah, but honestly, just unbind like a lock cam then at this point.
Yeah.
You know, because like you have your thumb resting on your spacebar, right?
Yeah.
The only thing you need to get used to is just pressing that down instead of pressing the Y key. Agreed?
Yeah.
Just unbind the Y key.
Yeah.
Just for example, I never use that fucking button. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like it's not a needed button if we're gonna use the spacebar, right? And if you for some reason think you can press Y, etc., like over and over again, I mean that's more uncomfortable for me. But if that's what you want to do, then go for it. But I see that many times we're like missing out on stuff, right? That we shouldn't be missing like out on. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, this is just not great. This is we just can't play shaking, right?
I honestly just don't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It felt like I was kind of just tilted this game.
Yeah, I mean, I get if you're tilted, right, but we still gotta focus up, right? Like,
Yeah, I know.
the goal is not to win the game, right? The goal is to play as
Yeah.
good as we can.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, now we're a bit fucked, right? Like, that's why I ask you at some point, right? I mean, I ask you first of all, like, going here, you're like, okay, I have tempo on the Sylas, I want to do something with it. But, like, when you're walking back to lane, you know, you gotta look around. And it's like, we don't have to, like, you can, do you agree that anytime you want to push, you can have the push?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why do we have to have the push every wave? Why does every wave's plan have to be get the push move somewhere?
I don't know, man.
Set it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If this guy has one wave to respond to when you crash, right? Yeah. And you move, you have maybe like, I don't know, 3 seconds before he's there, like after you, or like 5 seconds maybe, right? Like, not that long of a timer, right? If it's like, you crash like 2 waves and he has like fucking, like, I don't know, 6 melee creeps there. Like, that's like fucking 10, you know, seconds plus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, the more you can crash, the bigger of a wave you can slow push, right, into his tower, the more time you have to do something on the map.
Yep.
Right? The more time you have to, for example, hit mid lane tower. Right? Because if you, like, crash one wave, and then you go to hit mid lane tower, you're not even gonna proc the demolish. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he's just gonna start trading on you, like, in in your face. So it's like, we have to crash bigger waves, right? Yeah. You know, the value of slow push is, like, important, right? It's like...
Yeah.
And the biggest thing with playing these kind of matchups is that when he decides to trade into you, you want to have a bigger wave. Right, that's the entire idea. He's like stronger, like just fist fighting, right? In that sense, right?
Yeah.
But you want to like go for some auto attacks every now and then, and you want to discourage him from actually jumping on you, with the fact that you have a bigger wave. And the only way you can do that is by building a slow push.
Yep.
Right. If you don't do this, then he has no reason to not just freeze in your face and laugh. Agreed?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So it's like we gotta be slow pushing. Like I don't want you to hard shove every wave, and it's like. I don't care what the plan is, usually, like, as long as we have a plan, right? But it's like, you know, like, build up towards the plans as well, right? Like, a plan is not like a one wave and then next plan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't think you come in, I asked you as well, like, at the start of the game, right? Okay, what is the goal, right? These kind of things, right? You answer, okay, what are we doing the first 2 waves? And that's good that we have a plan for that. But I want you to have a plan for, like, the entire game. You know what I mean? What is the actual goal? Obviously, this is solo queue and you're playing Tristana. You agree you can carry games, yes? Yeah. What stage do you think you can carry? 1 item, 2 items?
Well, 1 item I'm definitely strong. Like, if I'm not behind, like if I'm playing good in lane, I'm gonna be able to do a lot with 1 item.
Yeah, I mean you're strong without 1 item, with 1 item and 2 items, right? You're strong basically every spike you have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you just want to play to be as strong as possible. Agree?
Yeah.
How can you be as strong as possible, do you think?
I can play for myself. I can just...
But how do you do that?
By just...
Well, you want as much gold as possible. Like, your champion is a champion that uses gold and not XP mainly, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how can you get the most gold, right? One thing is kills, agreed? So, obviously staying on the lookout on the map, right? Being aware of, okay, if something is going on in top lane, maybe I want to move for it. Or same thing with bot lane, right? You can easily farm some kills, right? If you pay attention, right? The other thing is getting plates, right? You have Demolish, you're playing Tristana, he's playing Sylas. If you crash fucking 10 minions on the tower, you proc that Demolish, eventually you will be getting 4 or 5 plates.
Yeah.
Right? This is how you play your champion, right?
Yes.
And it's fine to move on the map if you think it's a good play. I just feel like you're overforcing it. Like,
yeah.
A lot of the time, it's just like you want to move for the sake of moving.
Yeah, indeed.
And it's like you spoke to me about this beforehand, right? You were like, oh, I want to like talk a bit about like how to move on the map, right? I don't think you need to know how to move on the map. I think you just need to know when to move on the map.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's just, you know, you don't have to force anything. You don't have to do any crazy plays. What I want you to do is like, if a play comes up, then sure, set up for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're like, if you understand that, okay, at 6 minutes, for example, we're gonna be playing drops. Set it up. You know what I mean? 5 minutes, start building a slow push.
Yeah.
Right, for example, or like maybe if reset before that, then start building a slow push, etc., etc. Right, and it's like it could just be literally whatever, right? Like I don't care, but look at like the side lanes, etc. as well, right? Like look at like bot lane, for example, right? And if you see like enemy bot lanes like slow pushing, like maybe you can crash and then move.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you look around enough, right? If you like clear a wave, right, or whatever, or you're waiting for the next wave, you can just quickly like pan the cameras down or end up, right? And if you notice this Draven is 1 HP, you can just go and dive him.
Yeah.
Right? And these are things we don't notice, right? Because we're not looking around. Agreed?
Yeah.
And we need to be looking around.
Yep.
Yeah. And the best way to do so is obviously using F keys, right? But it's like, and then, I mean, I think I told you before, but my recommendation is just rebinding the F keys, but...
I think I'm fine. I'm personally, I think it's fine to have that on F keys.
Okay, so why don't you use them?
I don't know.
Ah, that's a better question, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, maybe you don't find it uncomfortable, and that's fine, and you just need to get used to it more, right? And I mean, you will know this like better than anyone. If you try to learn something in League, you just have to fucking do it constantly, over and over, even if it grieves you, and that's sad. But either way, like,
Yeah.
no, so it's like if you want to practice using F keys, that's what you focus on for like a fucking straight week, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean this is fine. And then constantly just having a goal in mind, right? Like now we're kind of fucked in the game, right? I mean, I think we can both agree, but it's still the same principles. We never look around the map. I ask you permanently, okay, for example here, what do we want to do? And you're just like, push a move. Yeah. Where are we moving? You see what I mean? And then it's like, even if we do say that, like that's not what happens either, you know?
Yeah.
Half the time. It's like, I'm not saying it's like a bad plan if the circumstance is right, so, but it's just, we gotta understand.
Yeah.
What's going on? And like we can still win versus this guy, like if we take good trade. Like this is a good trade, right? I will buffer this. This is just...
Yeah, I was just... Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say than that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like lack of confidence that, okay, if I fail to buffer it, I will just die. Like
no,
like
it's not that. Sure. I should buffer that. Like, 9 out of 10 times I buffer that.
Okay.
Or not even 9 out of 10, 99 out of 100.
Yeah, well, if you think you buffer it normally, then sure.
Yeah.
I'll trust
this game, most of the mistakes I was making, it was just this game. Like, I normally don't make most of these mistakes in my Tristana.
Would you say you're nervous because I'm watching you, or no?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. No, but it's still like some very fundamental stuff, right? Like, just thinking about why we do certain stuff, right? That's the main thing, right? Because it's like, we don't think about how we want to tether in lane. You're like, oh, I want to tether aggressively. And that's good, right? But there's a way to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's like he shows his skill, like he throws his skill shots in a line, right? So we probably don't want to walk back and forth, right? It's like if you play against Yasuo or Yon, like the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you can do it at times, right? Especially if you bait out his Q once, like or you can do it specifically to bait out abilities, right?
Yeah.
Like that can be good. If you stand on the max range, right? But we gotta do it actively then, and not just do it for fun.
Yeah.
Like they get hit by every spell, then we're gonna lose the lane, right? Doesn't matter if Sylas is like not good into our champion.
Yeah.
Right, it's good for a reason, and it's not the reason that we get hit by every Q and just soak up the damage, right?
Yeah.
Now, the game is obviously awkward now. I mean, I would look to overload somewhere, probably, like if you really want to win, right? Yeah. For example, like just give a wave to like make a play. Because you're never going to get to push and make a play now, right? Like this Sylas is just way too fed, and your teammates are too far behind. So, for example, if it's just give a bot lane wave and just fucking collapse on this mid lane, for example, then go for it.
Yeah.
Right, and otherwise I think the game is probably quite doomed. Like, I would say that. Like, potentially you can just look to his rage split as well, but the Sylas seems to be wanting to match you, so it's quite hard.
Yeah, when Sylas matches me, I can't rage split.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately.
And it's like, so it can be difficult, right, in essence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, like the main things are like camera movement. I would just unbind that Y key and use space instead, and then eventually you get used to it. It doesn't take that long, I think.
Yeah.
Like F keys eventually as well. Probably focus on that first, right? And then think about what you want to do. If it's micro-wise, okay, tethering, that's fine. Like, and in general, just what your actual goal is, because it doesn't seem like. I mean, that's why I asked you, right? What are the strengths of our champion, right? Because we're not like using half of them. We're not using the fact that we can kill towers, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not using a lot of it, right? Just think, you know, what does our champion do?
Yep.
Our champion can do a lot. Tristana is one of the most OP kit designs in the game, agreed?
Yep.
So, don't limit ourselves to one playstyle. If we limit ourselves to push and move, then we're like, we might as well be playing like fucking Rise, or I don't know, Twisted Fate AP or something. Galio, I don't care. Alright, I don't have much else about this game, to be honest. Yeah? Do you have anything else?
No.
No? Alright. Then, I don't have much else. We can, like, maybe do, like, this was a short one, so if you want to, like, take some of this in, like, because I think this is the main stuff to work on, even if we look at another game.
Yeah.
So if you want to do some of this stuff, then we could potentially do another one, like, I don't know, in a week or something. It's up to you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Alright. I hope it helps anyways.
Yep.
Alright. Then, I hope. What am I saying? Fucking it. Good luck, man. And then yeah, just let me know how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, bye bye.
Alright. I see you, man.